sequel that I'm not really looking forward to watching, but hey, at least I'm getting it out of the way now. So it's the 2018 sequel to Pacific Rim that came out 5 years too late. I mean, they should have done the sequel 2 years later, not five. This proves that losing a lot of time is a bad thing for a sequel. Pacific Rim Uprising. That's the second one. It's an hour and 51 minutes. Let's get this over with. I gotta see Bainga act again. Yay, we got some good times ahead. Sorry I had to start an hour later. It's just I was doing some work. They just did a lot of things wrong. First, they don't get Guillermo del Toro back. They got Stephen DeKnight. He directed this. It's not the same writers. It doesn't have half the cast from the first movie. You know, a bunch of them are missing or they die, like the Asian girl. And you got Bayenga as the lead. Once I saw him in the trailer, I'm like, no. Let me lower this. Yeah, you're not even in the first movie. Idris Elba did not have a son in the movie. They never mentioned a son. They just added him. Why? Because they had to have a British guy with dark skin. Yay. I'm glad I skipped this in the theater. I'm like, you're not Idris Elba, and even he's not always wanted. Here comes the exposition fairy. Oh, no, monsters. You sound ridiculous. Sounds nothing like Finn. He sounds like a freaking drunk man. Thankfully, you know, we're not gonna. He's not gonna. Yeah, again, you have to show me the first movie because the first movie is better. He didn't do anything. He said we're gonna cancel the apocalypse. No, you're not, you idiot. Because it's still gonna happen. We know you're not a good actor. People keep saying you're the British Denzel Washington. Yeah, no, you're not good. You're not gonna Disney Plus me. I'm like, yeah. Again, British people are overrated. They don't need to be in everything. Look at this idiot. You only got that job because you're a diversity hire. Here, it didn't work. Last Jedi hit. This did not. This missed the mark completely. This is like a Transformers knockoff. This is a bad. This is a bad sequel, man. Yeah, you know, people don't like a movie that's narrated to them, especially now. Because Star Wars had an opening crawl. This did not. Man, his accent sucks. Balls. He's just not, you know, this is not good. Nope, you're gonna live like a slave in this movie. Do I have a British accent? No. Seriously, why did they have to get him? Where's Charlie Hunnam? They never even mentioned him again. Yes, he's also a Brit, but he at least tried in the first film. Here's like, I don't care about any of these new characters. Him or Kaylee Spanny, who's cute, but she doesn't do anything for me. And then they make Charlie Day the villain. Not the Jaeger, not the monsters. The freaking Charlie Day is the villain. Yeah, that wasn't. That was a stupid twist that came out of nowhere. He's a good actor. I love him as Luigi, but he's not a good villain. He's too likable. Trust me, Bayanga, you're never gonna reach the heights of Star Wars again. Everything he's done afterwards has not been good. I mean, he did a bunch of Netflix movies. Whoopee. You got Disney Plus. You're not gonna get Disney Plus. Well, too bad. Brits don't sell movies anymore. This is weird. These appropriating people, like, why do these people, why do black and Asians have British accents? Explain that to me. Oh, yeah, because Brits went all over the world to appropriate their language and their vernacular all over the world. It didn't make any sense. I'm not going to sound like that. And this character's not interesting at all. Skin color aside, he's not interesting. He's boring. He says he talks too much. He has no personality whatsoever. He's just, I'm the Charlie Hunnam villain, and nobody cared. At least Hunnam was at least interesting in the first one. Not great. Here he's just Finn with his stupid haircut from the Rise of Skywalker, and no lightsaber, no nothing. And I don't care about Attack the Block 2. Nah, no one cares. The first one was not even a hit in the US because it's a British film. He plays a chav, which we don't want. I'm only doing this because, again, to get it out of the way. I'm never doing a Bainga movie again. Never. He's not for me. When he was at Comic-Con last year, I'm glad I wasn't there the day he went. I would have been embarrassed to sign a helmet for Finn because, again, they turned a stormtrooper good and they did nothing with that. Yeah, how dare you? It's useless. And this film is so watered down. Like the Guillermo del Toro's movie, while not perfect, it had a sense of fun to it. It was a little bit too long. This one's shorter, I'll give it that, but it's not a good sequel. I don't talk like I'm drunk. I'm sorry. I don't talk like this. I'm sorry. And I got to deal with three of them in the Thunderbolts. That's why I'm not seeing it today. I got to deal with the freaking with Yelena, with Rachel Weisz in her cameo, and and Ghost. Yay! But whatever. After this movie, I don't want to see them again. I don't. I don't need Vice in another comic book movie because I'm like, she can't act anymore. She won an Oscar years ago, but has not lived up to it. She's done nothing but crappy roles since 2006. Aragon, yeah, what is that Oscar worthy? No. Or what about the Born Legacy? She sucked in that movie. Yeah, I rest my case. These Brits only get work because they have the accent, yet they can't keep it. They can't keep it. They have to like try to alter it like Tom Hardy, and it failed. That's why I don't care about Nicholas Hoult in Superman. No, he's the only actor in the movie I think is gonna suck. Yeah, try to cancel me if you want to, but I'm like, that is not Lex Luthor to me. Gene Hackman will always be the best. And the Jaegers are barely in this movie. The fights happen in the second half of the film. This first half is just trying to get this character over. One we don't care about. Sorry. Attack the Block is down the street. But this is not going to be an hour bashing Brits, because again, you guys know my stand on them. I don't like them. I don't want them in my cinema. Why did they have to be in everything? Because again, Hollywood got lazy and like, we don't have any more good American and Canadian actors, so let's just get people from the UK and pretend that they're us. They're not. Okay? We're better. We have a cleaner country. We have no monarchy. The taxes are not up to wazoo, and we have freedom. There's Kelly Spanning. Yeah, she's cute, but she should have been in the movie more. No chemistry whatsoever. She was just an alien Romulus. I haven't seen it yet. I'll see it in a minute. What is it with pairing her with British guys? First, it was this idiot, and then you had the guy in Alien Romulus that has a mental disorder. Why? Doesn't make any sense. Even when my mom saw this movie, she didn't know what was going on. And like I said, the first movie's not a masterpiece, but it's better than this movie. This is just a knockoff of Transformers, especially at the end, and Power Rangers. But they fight monsters in that too. Kelly Spanning looks like she's 16 in this movie. She's just really short, that's all. She's cute. I snuggle her any day. You think that I was gonna love Spider Punk and Across the Spider Verse? No, sorry. He has the most annoying accent in the movie, and that's saying a lot. Again, I don't watch a Spider-Man movie for some knockoff character. I want to see the main character, guys. Who's the main character in this movie? It's not the Jaegers. They're sidelined in this. Yeah, this is a hate commentary. You guys knew that going in. Even Tevye hates this movie, and trust me, I don't blame you. The effects are good. That's one of the few things that is good in the movie. Them and Kaylee Spanning is trying. There's a reason this bombed in the U.S. because no one cared. Bumblebee was a much better movie with robots because I cared about Haley Steinfeld. I don't give a damn about this British knockoff Denzel Washington that can't act that keeps making bad movies every year. Seriously, fire your agent. I'm doing an Attack the Block too. Yeah, nobody cared about the first one. It was remade in the U.S. It was called The Watch, and I prefer that. I just hate those sequel trilogy movies so much. That's why. Plus, this also looks like the Transformers The Last Night, which I hated too. It's so badly edited, you just don't know what's going on. This movie should have given me something. If you're not going to bring back Charlie Hunnam, at least have an interesting actor. Bayinga is not it. No one from The Force Awakens was ever going to win me over, unless it's Billy Lord, or what's her face, her and maybe Greg Grunberg, because he's a good actor. But he was wasted. All he does is a lot of yelling, and I'm like, guys, that's not acting. That's just giving me a headache. We're 12 minutes in, and yeah, no, thank you. At least I know what I was getting into when I saw this. I saw it last year on like FX. I'm like, yeah, I didn't care, guys. It's background noise. There's too much talking in this movie. That's why it's still almost 2 hours. And when it's over, I'm not seeing the post-credit scene. Just stop, you know. Again, it's a waste of a big budget. This is the same year that Infinity War came out. You were never going to stand a chance against that. Even Rampage is a better movie than this. It's fun. I don't care for Naomi Harris, but again, that's me. That's my bias kicking in. At least my bias kicks in fast. I don't need 2 days to comprehend things. Because my brain is a steel trap. This is a waste of money. And they're in prison. Of course, just like in The Last Jedi. Again, in case you didn't get the connections here. Because this was literally a few months after The Last Jedi, just like Solo. Mm-hmm. Yo, come on, sometimes. Yeah, just because you were in Star Wars, that does not. Let me just lower this because it's just people bickering through the whole freaking movie, just like in Rise of Skywalker. And I'm like, there's a reason, Bayinga, no one's calling you to be in Marvel. They wanted him to replace Kang. I'm like, why? Because he's black, just like Jonathan Majors. It's nothing like Jonathan Majors. And they're doing Doctor Doom, not Kang. Kang is done. They're pro- they're probably gonna kill him off in Fantastic Four and say, yeah, Doom is coming. I know. We know. In the second half of the film. They didn't know how to bring back the characters from the first movie and use them right. You bring back Charlie Day. Hey, heterosexual man, I saw this movie on my computer during the pandemic. It was a massive disappointment. It is because the first one was good. It wasn't perfect, but it was at least fun and entertaining. Bayinga just compare is a downgrade compared to Charlie Hunnam. And it's not the race thing. It's just that he's not. He talks like this the whole movie, and he's narrating the movie like this is like some kind of like young adult novel. What a waste of this actress. The Asian girl from the first one, and they kill her. Not a little kid. She's a woman. I'm never watching this movie again, and that you could put that in writing. Twice is enough. I did the first one. This movie's so bad that there's not even a commentary. There's deleted scenes, but I don't care about the deleted scenes. What a waste of this actress. She's in like 2 scenes in the movie and then dies. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, this movie's painful. Is it the worst I've seen? No. But this movie killed the franchise. This could have been a long franchise like Transformers. Okay, China, of course, because they have to show these movies in China. This is not a good movie. He's not a good lead. I'm sorry. He works as a supporting character, not a lead. How dare you call her a kid? She's not a kid. Grapper's dead, just like the robot in Transformers the last night. Their Scotties were wasted in another franchise. It's a good actor, and he's not the lead here. He's sidelined by Baenga because he was in Fast and the Furious. We're trying to replace Paul Walker, and it didn't work out for him. She looks like a petite version of Kristen Stewart, except much more attractive. No, it's stupid. Pentecost. What are you, religious or something? Stupid. Again, Power Rangers did this decades before, and it did it better. Even Voltron did it better. Let me eat something. There's the one from the first movie. There's Isa Gonzalez, also wasted again. She should have been in more. There's more side characters we don't care about. Kavan Bar, what a waste of the salmon. Hey, look, it's the girl from it's the blonde Elizabeth Olsen, yeah. The one with the bald head from Dungeons and Dragons. I think she was also in Ahsoka. Yeah, it's funny how so many actresses look like Elizabeth Olsen. Yeah, nobody cares. Yeah, that is her from Ahsoka. All these Asian actors and their sideline. A diverse cast and they wasted here. Good thing he's not going to be Miles. That would be horrible. A 30-something-year-old guy playing Miles? No. Hell no. This is what we wanted to see. Robots fighting monsters. And this movie can't even do that right. People in the first one were like, I can't see what's going on again. They had to reduce the violence for the PG-13 rating. Shoes. Shows, Josh, not shoes. Movies and shoes. The Miles is going to get cast this year, I'm telling you. They're going to at least announce him or say that he's in the next Spider-Man movie after 4. God, Noriega doesn't do anything in this movie. He just talk. What's the difference between him and Daniel Kaluuya? Not a kid. Kaylee is not a kid anymore. She's in her 20s. You stupid bitch. Seriously. She's too. I'll go past the galaxy any day for her. You know what I mean? Just like, oh no, I'm scared because she's white. Again, skin color doesn't matter to me. Look at me. I'm not white. Even Scott Eastwood doesn't know what the hell this Brian is doing in this movie. Seriously, why is he in this movie? What are you wearing? that was kind of funny. He sounded like Owen Wilson. It's weird. I'm glad this movie bombed. Yeah, I'm so glad. Bumblebee is a much better movie. He's annoying in this movie. The humor just falls really flat. I'm eating this. Fruit and yogurt. Again, I'd rather be watching that. I'm not your mate, okay? My mate is going to be a black American woman. Not some dude like this. Brush my dog boyfriend, man. Check this out. How much sugar does this have? 13. I have Bumblebee. Yeah, I have it on Blu-ray. And I did a podcast, and I'm not apologizing for it. I will lick my lips at Haley until I die, gosh. Even when she's married, it doesn't matter. She's still Asian, and she still squints, and that's going to do things for me. It's not too much with Haley. The only thing that's too much is how sexy she is. Mm. There's the other Asian girl in the movie that's wasted. There's Charlie Day, yep. Love him as Luigi. I think he's hilarious, but making him the villain, that was stupid. He's too likable of an actor to be a villain. Of course, there's subtitles in the movie. They have to appeal to the Asian market. This movie could have cost half the budget of the first one, and it would have made money. But you've spent over $100 million for nothing. And there's the other British guy that I didn't care about in the first one. No, I'm sorry, Josh. He's too likable. I can't hate Charlie Day in a movie. He's just too much fun. His high-pitched voice and his energy, I just love that. In Horrible Bosses 1 and 2, he's good. And no, Tony, it's not pasta face that him and Chris Pratt are not Italian. It's a voice, not an ethnicity, okay? It's delicious. It's just acting. No, they have to get my attention. They did really good as Luigi. That's why they're going to bring him back. Also, nobody spoil the movie Thunderbolts in the chat because you'll be blocked if you do. It sounds like a date. Too much talking in this movie. Get to the action already. The first one did not give me nightmares. Because basically this movie just, it wastes a lot of time. It's 20 minutes shorter. Your Mandarin makes you sound like an idiot. So it's Mandarin, not Chinese. Well, because Charlie Hunnam is not, Charlie Day, excuse me, he's not Chinese, he's white. Again, we get it. You want to get that Chinese market, which didn't save this movie. It still bombed. Again, this is the same thing they did in the Meg and Meg 2. We don't want to read subtitles, okay? I'm only doing this for the Godzilla movies because I love those movies. And even the ones that are weaker, like Raids Again is not the classic the original is, but it's still classic, There's still, at least I'm not bored out of my mind. How long is Raids Again? It's 81 minutes long. 81 minutes. Not 181 minutes, 81. It's only 2 minutes longer than the American version. When that came out, they knew they weren't going to have a classic, so they're like, let's just make it shorter than the original. Get all the exposition out of the way. Thank you, Charlie Day. That's why I like his character. Why did you make him a villain? It comes out of nowhere. It's not like he's a douchebag from the beginning of the movie, no. I mean, this is a movie where they kill the Asian girl off early, like The Last Jedi, but she was a major character in the first film. To be honest, I prefer Japanese girls and Filipina girls, if you see my pictures of Nia Jamison. At least I know what I'm attracted to. What a waste. You notice we're 31 minutes in and we haven't seen an action scene yet? Yeah, that's the problem with this movie, the pacing. Sydney, Australia. There's a lot of build-up, even though the first movie already set up this world. This is like Independence Day 2. It's just not a good movie. Just react to my pictures, Josh. You didn't last night. Now, finally, you're getting an action scene. 32 minutes into the movie. Even Sonic 3 didn't do this. It started with an action scene with Shadow. That's how you do it right. There is no reason, Josh. You're just scared. If I had seen those pictures of Dizzy, I would have been like, why? Because again, nothing can cancel me except death, and I'm not dying this year. I'm moving forward. Walt Disney said these words of wisdom: always keep moving forward. You can't go back because you have to forget what's behind you and strain for what's ahead. That's what I'm doing. I'm not going to live in the past and be scared of everything. The pacing in this movie is so bad. It took 30 minutes to get to the first action scene. 30! Yeah, too much exposition, too much talking, too many flashbacks, narration. Characters that are subtitled because they think this movie's a foreign movie. It's not. We get it. The Asian girl is sexy. I got that. Bumblebee wasn't subtitles. Bumblebee wasn't a bunch of exposition. It starts at Cybertron and then it goes to Earth. And plus, it's the robots fighting each other. That's Transformers, guy. That's not Pacific Rim. A rogue Jaeger. You heard that right here, folks. You don't have to be scared, Dad. You're scared because a lot of black guys got canceled who put their hands on people. You didn't. Diddy and Jonathan Majors and freaking Bill Cosby and all these other guys put their hands on people. That's why they got canceled. It's not for things they said, it's things they did. I never touched a girl in my life. And this is where they killed her off. I was so pissed off when this happened.
stupid. This would have been cool if this was Transformers. But it's not. And they're making this robot, this Jaeger from the first one look weak. A waste of metal. And now it's Iron Man. He has a unibeam. Oh no, run from the robots fighting each other. Doesn't make any sense. What is this, Robotech now? I'm glad I'm gonna donate this. There's the fin coming out of him. Charlie Swift could have held this movie all by himself. He didn't need some sidekick. You know why The Rock didn't get canceled? Because he has a lot of charm. And his movies sometimes do make money. Red One flopped. This was a big mistake. Let me save the helicopter, and she dies. For no freaking reason. She dies without an ounce of care about her. What a waste. You're an idiot. Seriously. Jake, you're an idiot. You got an innocent woman killed, and you didn't save her. Thank goodness it wasn't a Pacific Rim 3 after this atrocity. It's sad because I really liked the first one. That kiss where he was licking her face, again, who wouldn't want to do that to Lan? Karen. Karen doesn't sound drunk. Even when she uses the way she talks, she doesn't sound like this. You killed off the main character from the first movie. How dare you, movie? As to the writers that did this. Instead of writing her off saying, hey, she went to be with, Bill Yeagers in Japan or something. No, you have to kill her off. It's cheap. They do that when they can't get the actress back. It sucks. They might as well kill off Charlie Hunnam, too. The second one they kiss, it was awkward. What a waste of time. No, she wasn't. You spoke to her in 2 scenes. And at least you won't be at Comic-Con this year, so. A brain. I will say this: Godzilla vs Kong is better than this movie. That was fun. Not perfect. Don't hit her. She's younger than you, you bint. Oh. Seriously, I don't know what they were thinking with this sequel. It's a sequel without the main actor. Guillermo del Toro didn't come back. That was another red flag. And then half the cast from the first movie come back to die or be evil. Mm-hmm. Again, a flashback we never saw in the first movie. Jake is just an add-on character, a diversity hire character, just like they did with Obi-Wan Kenobi and The Last Jedi and all these other characters. Yeah. They're like, oh, you're some person of color that stole you in Star Wars or in something like that. That little girl's cute. Don't get any ideas, Josh. She's the little girl that was in Secrets of Sulphur Springs thing. Yeah. I want to hear her voice. That creature looks awesome. It's a flashback. No, don't touch her. Don't you dare touch her. I know. I was sort of feeling something with her flashback, but then he has to be there yelling, just like he always does. Why don't people understand that Asian cinema or things inspired by Asian cinema or anime, we don't want Brits in them. It makes it painful, guys. Even The Boy and the Heron, I'd rather watch the Japanese version. Why would I want to hear Florence Pugh in a freaking anime? She can't act in her own dialect. You think she's gonna act in an anime? I'm sorry, I can't. I can't deal with it. They're in everything. I react to Ellie because I'm like, Josh, I see her and I get attracted to her. I've seen that commercial she's done recently too. Look at her. Really look at those eyes. She makes me melt. If I met her at Comic-Con, I'm going to be like, you're adorable. You're absolutely adorable. And she's going to smile and turn red. Women love a word of praise, especially when you really mean it. It makes them melt like butter. When they're not lesbians. Again, more subtitles. Oh my god. I do yell, but Josh, you haven't done that in a while. There is a commercial with Ellie. You just didn't see it. Poor Charlie Day. Again, this movie came out before the pandemic. If this came out during the pandemic, it still would have bombed. No one wants to read subtitles. Shang-Chi people are like, why am I have to read subtitles for this movie? Half of her dialogue is subtitled, and we get it. You can speak Mandarin. B. They killed off the Japanese girl for this girl. week. 40 hours. Yeah, I know, Charlie Day. Don't worry, you'll be in an Asian franchise that's going to live forever now, the Mario Brothers movie. That made so much money compared to this. And it didn't need no damn subtitles. Because it's a video game based from Japan that people love. There was already a Mario movie that was subtitled in the 80s. Exactly, I'm too lazy to read in the theater. I'm not in the theater to read. I like that song, I Want to Know Where Love Is. There's that creature in there. Again, why is that song in this movie? Random. You know what's a better movie than this? Top Gun Maverick. It had new characters I cared about. This movie's just boring. I don't like reading subtitles. I only do it if the whole movie is. Not English, Japanese, English, Chinese, English, German, English, Spanish, English, French. I don't want it. I am not a linguist. Again, calm down, blonde Elizabeth Olsen. Or mixed with Palm Clemente. Yeah, she looks like both of them. Again, these people should be fighting monsters, not each other. This is the most... It's a joke. Calm down now. What kind of a last name is Boyega? Boyega? Sounds like a Pokemon name. Or Bodega. The 48 minutes in. We're not even halfway through the movie yet. Jaeger is Joyman. I was also taken from Transformers because, whatchamacallit, Mark Wahlberg's name was Jaeger in Transformers Age of Extinction and The Last Night. Snow. Siberia, don't you mean Hoth? There's too much padding in this movie. They could have cut half of this exposition out. The girl from the Civil War, I thought that was Elizabeth Olsen's sister or something, or like a cousin or something. Incoming again. It's another robot. It's not. The monsters don't fight until the end of the movie. This is dull. Yeah. Age and race doesn't matter to me. Annika, I think, is desirable. I should. Yeah, Juliana Gill, that's her. It's just like Elizabeth Olsen. It's scary. Her and the girl from Dungeons and Dragons with the bald head. It's the face and those big eyes. And this chick from Ahsoka, that was one of those Dark Jedi Sith lords. She was the apprentice of Ray Stevenson in Ahsoka season 1. Missile ahoy! See what happens? Nothing's gonna happen, Josh. Because just don't be insulting. Again, this is not Pacific Rim. She'll be fighting monsters. Again, I will not be clapping at the end of this movie. It sucked back in 2018. It still sucks today. It's a disappointment. Mom? A brain. Again, why are you explaining things that we know already? I didn't think there was a pizza. Again, you're not Harry Potter. I don't want to hear that accent. Next year, I don't want to hear it. I'm sick of it. General audiences don't want, they want to just see dumb fun like Minecraft Chicken Jockey. They just want to hear things that they recognize, not read languages that they don't care for them about. That's what Black Widow failed. Captain Marvel made $1 billion. What's Black Widow's excuse? Oh, it was released during the pandemic. It should not have been released during the pandemic. It should have been released a year after Civil War came out. That would have made more sense, Marvel. Not releasing it after freaking Black Widow died, and then you get this knockoff version I don't want. Alien Romulus. She's way better than Millie Bobby Brown, I'll give her that. Because she actually can emote and react to stuff, not just look sad all the time. Wait. I'm thinking of something funnier. Let me lie down because this is going to be a long, long podcast. Thank God this movie's not 2 hours or this would have been unbearable. It's not the worst sequel I've ever seen. It's just one of the most disappointing ones I've seen. The
First one at least had a sense of fun to it, and no Bainga. Callie is a win for me. Yeah, she is. She's petite and she's American and she's cute as a button. Poor girl. You think? You think? War. Again, you have no dad in this movie. He didn't have a son at the end of the first one. That was just added. That sucks when they have to add things in a sequel that no one asked them to, or retcon something. That's what Avatar: Way of Water did. Oh, Stephen Lang died in the first one. We're gonna bring him back as a Navi. Sigourney Weaver died in the first one. Let's bring her back as a Navi because whether it makes sense or not. We're not stupid, James Cameron. Audiences like me know what's garbage and what makes sense. My dad. I'm sorry, but John is just so boring. He's a boring actor. That's how he talks. Like he's gonna win an Oscar. I'm like, you're not. Sorry. Brie won it. Natalie Portman won it. Exactly, Josh. Don't, you're not defined by who other people think you are. You gotta stand on your own 2 feet. I do. No. Sorry. That, no, sorry. Your face isn't gonna save you for after post Star Wars. Attack the Block 2 is probably gonna not even get a mainstream release because people didn't even see the first one. Caitlin has time to win an Oscars because she's young. General audiences go to see a movie they don't want to read. If it's an opening crawl, yeah, but if it's like subtitle for the whole, like half the film, why? It doesn't. We don't want to. I could read something at home. I could read a comic or a book or something, or even a magazine. I don't want to read in the theater. This isn't Aliens. Aliens is a good sequel. Even The Dark Knight, as long as that movie is, and it's unbearably long, it's still better than this. More subtitles. Again, I don't care. Because I don't care about these characters. Kaylee Spanning's kind of cute, but like I said, at least she only had one line subtitled, which is, kiss my anus. I'm like, yeah, I get it. Here, they only put the subtitles so that the Chinese could be like, hey, look, our language is in the movie. Nobody cared. Even the critics didn't like this. They liked the first one, mostly. It had detractors, but the first one at least was interesting. If it wasn't for that Adam Sandler movie, that piece of garbage, Grown Ups 2, it would have made more money. Hmm. Again, where are the monsters in this movie?
At least that's a different character talking. This will be so painful. Like it's not the worst. Like I said, Transformers 2 through 5 are much worse than this. Well, 3 has its moments, but it's the second half of the film that's entertaining. The first half is a lot of talking. It's just too slow. Give us what we want. You don't have to take 3 hours to do that, guys. That's why I'm skipping Mission Impossible. I'm not gonna sit through 2 hours and 45 minutes of the turkey. That is not happening in this lifetime in the theater. At least at home, I can mute her because she's useless. Again, why are the robots fighting each other when it's supposed to be robots and monsters? Again, this is the wrong franchise. Robots fighting each other, that's not what the first Pacific Rim was about. Yeah, just stand there. Yeah, that's a good idea for a character that's in the middle of a war here. Run. I'm just gonna stare at this all the CGI and not even move. This movie's dumb. I think Borderlands is worse because they make good actors look bad in it, but this one is just like I miss Ron Perlman in this too. He was in the first one. I saw it. It was bad. It was worse than this because while it was shorter, it was a waste of a video game property. It was trying to be Star Wars so badly, and it's not Star Wars. Your quarters? Yeah, it's quarters, you idiot, not quarters. And they wonder why I don't like Bainga's work, because he sounds the same. He yells in everything. Scott Eastwood and the girl could have been all that you needed in this movie. They put Bainga because he's a diversity hire. Again, elevator music. There's some, like, 2 moments. Hey, Salvatore, don't list a bunch of movies. I already know what I'm doing. This movie has a few moments that make me laugh. Like, 2 of them. That wasn't even called for. Attacking Asians. You missed. Don't hug him. He's not gay. Seriously, half of this movie feels like a Transformers knockoff, another feels like a really bad anime. How do we stop this? God, this guy is bad too. This guy from The Dark Knight Rises? Yeah. Blech. Oh, yeah. Now the monsters show up. An hour and 4 minutes into the movie. 1 hour into the movie. An hour into the movie that we finally going to get what we want, and it's too late, guys. I was already, tapped out by the 45-minute mark. Hey, look, they're waking up the Fallen. Again, another scene stolen from another movie. That that movie had an excuse of coming out during the writer's strike. This did not have that excuse. I've seen Godzilla movies with less budget do better than this movie. Because they're better, they're shorter, and they get to the point and give you what you want. Rage Again is not a classic, but compared to this movie, it's better. I'd sit through Godzilla and Anger is fighting for 2 hours over this movie. You're not a joke, Charlie Day. What making you a villain was a joke. It's like John Cena's heel turn. You know why it's failing? Because we don't want to boo a man that's a legend in wrestling. That's why it failed. They waited 10 years too late to make Cena heel. That was the first movie. Better movie. Again, don't piss off Luigi. I gotta find some enjoyment when I can, guys. Because, like I said, remember when Bowser was pulling his mustache? At least you don't have a mustache, Josh. When he was pulling the mustache, I'm like that. That was both funny and kind of painful because I know what it feels like. My facial hair grows. But then when he goes, ah, I'm like, yeah. Remember that movie made $1 billion. This didn't even make half that because he's pulling his mustache like this. No, Josh, they booed Cena and it doesn't work because I'm like, it's not. It's too little, too late. You don't have a mustache. This alien knows other languages. Again, this feels like an anime. This is not. This is not an anime, guys. This is not an anime. We don't have to read subtitles. I'm not watching Demon Slayer or One Piece or My Hero Academia. It's just weird. I know you have facial hair, but not a mustache that it be pulled like. No, he got away. This movie's so dumb. Yeah, the literally the creature that's talking to a person's body that was in an anime. I know it was in an anime in several animes. There's a creature again. An hour and 8 minutes into the movie, they resurrect a creature from the first film. Who cares? Yeah, a monster shows up and then dies. See, this movie doesn't even care about the kaiju's from the first film. South Korea. Universal Legendary Pit thought it was a good idea to make Charlie Day a villain. It didn't make any sense. He wasn't a villain in the first movie. Even Ron Perlman wasn't a villain in the first one. The monsters were the villains in the first one. Here we go. Drones. The Asians, yeah, because they helped a lot in the movie, didn't they? Comic Con is 5 weeks from tomorrow. So don't bother me in the chat or inbox because I won't be there. I'm not doing a podcast that day. This is just numbing. Of course. Again, title drop of the first movie. I gotta open the window because it's hot today. This is such a waste of a budget. You gets kicked on the neck. Is that Isaac? Is that Isaac Gonzalez or is that the girl from Morbius? They look alike too. It's almost over, thankfully, guys. We're an hour and 15 minutes in. Soon. You got these bootleg Power Ranger suits. That's Arja Jonah, yeah, the girl from Morbius. She looks like Isaac Gonzalez. Isaac Gonzalez like more tan. This is not our chance. Chance, you idiot. Chance. Why do you have to yell, Bainga? We're not deaf. No one in the audience is seeing this that's deaf. Okay? You don't have to yell every line you do. It's like he's doing the same hammy acting he did in The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, where all he does is yell. These directors don't know how to use him right instead of yelling all the time. You're not inspiring me. The speech at Independence Day is better than this. And that's a long movie, but you know, Will Smith, you're not. Okay? Let me do it like a bit like Yoda. Will Smith, you are not. Will Smith has charisma. That's why his movies keep making money. Yeah, he slapped a man. That was 3 years ago. Let's move on. They show the kaijus at the very end. Wow, what a waste of time. Flying in the sky. Oh my god, shut up. Here come the monsters. An hour and 18 minutes into the movie. You waste of time movie. The creatures look great, but they should have used them more in the film. You missed your hygiene appointment today? I'm not. Not you, Josh. I'm talking about the this noise. This guy's leading a video going, ba 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 ba. I'm like, no, you're not funny. Again, Rampage came out the same month as this, and it did better than this. Rampage was fun. These rejected MonsterVerse characters here that come an hour into the movie. They should have been in the first 5 minutes, not an hour. Now they give us what we want to see. An hour into the movie. You stupid, stupid writers. And destroy the city. Or destroy half the city. Glow sticks. This might as well have been a video game cutscene. Take that. Destroying an entire city. And for what? To have an epic fight at the end that's an hour too late. Eat spikes. Having a decent fight at the end doesn't save the movie. The other hour of the movie that was just talking and stupid jokes and exposition. Whip it. Again, giving it the finger. Yeah. Don't get overconfident. But it's just mindless entertainment, that's all. Waiting 5 years for this was not worth it. Yes, Infinity War has a lot of CG, but we care about the characters. It's why it made $1 billion and crowds were going crazy. This doesn't have any of that. This should have came out in 2015. Yes, not 2018. It was 5 years too late. Falling asleep at this movie. It's dull. Well, I see. You're an equal. A belch. Wow, he belched them away. Real original, guys. I am not under your command. It's almost done. We're an hour and 25 minutes in. More yelling because that was great, but the first 15 times you did it. These studios think that we're stupid, and we're not. That's why we avoided this sequel, and instead we saw sequels like Infinity War, and even Ant-Man and the Wasp was better than this. It's funnier. It's a shorter movie. Yay, Zack Snyder slow-mo. Hold on. Gotta take my pants off. It's too hot. Yeah, Charlie Day is the only one having a blast here because he knows what kind of sequel he was in. Oh, you're gonna make me the villain? Then I'm gonna ham it up to 12. Of course he did. This movie's so bad. It's such a disappointment considering the first one, while not a monster hit, at least it made enough to get a sequel. And then we get this. I thought it was Command. It's like he doesn't know what character to play. So the girl from Morbius. Morbius is a lot worse than this. Because they took a Spider-Man villain and tried to make him likable. I'm like, I'm sorry, he's a villain. Partner. Miss Marvel had actors with better chemistry than this. Again, it's a coincidence that this movie has a robot that looks like Jaeger that looks like Bumblebee. It's not Bumblebee. Again, you're not the MonsterVerse. MonsterVerse did it better. Separate. I repeat, separate. Oh, it's too much. I could put this away because I'm like, just go see the first one again. Don't even bother with the sequel. It's garbage, just like the first, just like it. I thought it would be without Charlie Hunnam and the rest of the cast. Useless. Uh-oh. Well, the monster doesn't even kill him. I'm gonna just keep overacting. Movie cannot come with its own ideas, of course not, because everything has to be a ripoff of something else. And there's a stupid Zack Snyder slow-mo again. You're not Zack Snyder, and even his movies are not always wanted. He uses slow-mo to pad out his movies. I feel nothing in this movie. No joy. Of course she is. She has to be the female lead. Watchmen was great, but then after Watchmen, he peaked with that, Josh. Everything he did after that was a lot of bad films. Man of Steel and Sucker Punch. Yeah. Even the Snyder Cut, while it's well made, it's still too long. No. Trust me, you're speaking to the audience. Once he did Sucker Punch, it was a domino effect. And he hasn't recovered from it. I didn't hate the Rebel Moon movies, but I didn't expect much, guys. It's a dumb movie on Netflix. What do you expect? It was a dumb movie on Netflix that's done by Zack Snyder. What were you expecting? Guardians of the Galaxy? I was expecting nothing. But I got something. Not much, but I got something. I've seen worse. These movies are too British. Never do another Pacific movie unless you have something to say. Another worthless robot. Yeah, let's destroy more buildings because that was fun in the first hour of the movie. How was this movie shorter than the first one, yet it feels longer than the first one? I don't get it. Squidward? At least Bayenga's not an alien Romulus, so thank God for that. Even though that also has too many Brits in it too. But again, they think that sci-fi needs British people. It doesn't. Yeah, no freaking kidding. Oh, I've seen Disney movies that have more excitement than this. Yes, even in 2018. We're 96 minutes in. Godzilla was already over by this time, and this movie extends itself. Yeah, that failed, but at least I liked it better than this, Josh. Mackenzie Foy is beautiful in that movie, and she's a better lead than this idiot. They're gonna crash into Mount Fuji. No, he wouldn't, because Idris Elba said no to this. He was killed off in the first movie so he could do that stupid gunslinger movie a year before this. Again, no freaking kidding. If Bayinga died here, I would have given this movie a standing ovation. I don't want to see him anymore in my sci-fi movies. It's my favorite genre, and I don't want Brits ruining it for me anymore. I'm tired of it. Between this and Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, 2025, what franchise won't they ruin? This fight at the end isn't even that epic. It's just kind of boring. No, Knuckles was way after this, Josh. This was 2018. He said no so he could do the third Thor movie, his cameo in Infinity War, and that stupid Dark Tower movie, which was bad. Killed, yeah, but it's underwhelming. Yay, we kind of did something. And Charlie Day didn't even die. I know Charlie Day. Nope. Plan B is to just do the Mario movie because you won't regret it. It made $1 billion. No Pacific Rim movie has done that yet. And Transformers, the last one to do that was Age of Extinction, and that was painfully long, Josh. No one could defend that running time. That movie should not be 2 hours and 45 minutes. No movie should be that long. You should be short and sweet. This isn't short and sweet. It was shorter, but not sweet. Mortal Engines is a better movie. Esther in the movie, or Hester, she doesn't even talk much. Bayinga talks way too much. Yeah. Again, just end the movie already. End, please. All right, we done? Can we stop this, please? Yeah, this movie. An hour and 40 minutes of my life I'll never get back. At least I did it for you guys. I'll never watch this movie again, that's for sure. Is it over? Can we go home now? No, there's one more scene, and then that's it. Kara's Icelandic. Yeah, but she's not British, at least. She has more expressive eyes than... He's dressed like Finn in this movie. Sorry, Bayinga, you couldn't save this movie. You couldn't even save The Last Jedi. No, you won't. There's gonna be a show on Netflix that yeah. Can we end this? Stephen S. Knight. I hope you never direct a movie like this again, because you didn't deserve it. Anyway, that was Pacific Rim Uprising. What a disappointment. Hey, at least I got it out of the way. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Acknowledge me. Don't watch this movie again. It's not worth it. Tomorrow I'll be doing a better film. It's much better than this. It's a better sequel and it's shorter. Godzilla versus Raids Again. Shorter and sweeter compared to this. See you later.